people got a funny situation here.
Hello and welcome to Spooky Small Talk, a show where I, Ryan Bergara, get to interview some of the world's most fascinating people in one of the scariest places on the planet, a haunted attraction at Not Scary Farm. Today's guest is one of Watcher's very own and my ghoul friend on BuzzFeed Unsolved, Mr. Shane Madej.
You may know Shane as the resident skeptic on BuzzFeed Unsolved, or as the charming professor on Puppet History, or as the wizard of whimsical on Weird Wonderful World. But also, you may know Shane if you know me. Seriously, at this point, I'd be surprised if that wasn't true.
All right, Shane, thank you for coming on the show. We know each other, right?
Oh, yes, we've hunted some ghosts together. I think you were at my birthday party once.
I think I may have had a dinner or two with you, something like that.
Sure.
Are you jumpy?
A little jumpy. I am jumping less and less, I've noticed, though. Nowadays, sometimes I'll see movies, everyone else in the theater will be like, "Ah!" and I'll just be sitting there.
Like Jabba the Hutt?
Yeah.
What a feather in your cap. Anyways, there's a lot of urban legends about Shane Madej on the internet and also from your friends.
Okay.
So let's play a little fact or fiction.
All right.
Fact or fiction. You once got your entire PE class out of doing sit-ups because you couldn't lift your head off the floor.
Who said that?
Moving on to the next one.
Nobody said that.
Fact or fiction. You once got your head stuck in a doggy door for 8 hours. I transcribed this wrong. Elephant door. It was you got your head stuck in an elephant door for 8 hours.
My head is proportional to my body,
Is it?
I'd like to point out.
When, if ever, was the last time you spoke to your mother?
I love my mother. I talk to her every Sunday.
It was just a joke. You know, just some best friends razzing each other.
Shout out to Sherry Madej.
Great. Jesus Christ, you are so angry right now.
Is this how the whole thing's going?
No, I actually did a fair amount of research. I took this very seriously. I just thought it'd be fun to have some fun because we're pals.
Well, now I'm fired up.
Okay, well, let's get into the maze,
Okay.
and then we'll get into some deep questions.
Okay.
Next to the guy hanging by chains.
Ooh.
As I did say out there, I did take this seriously. I do want to talk about your relationship with your parents. You grew up in Schaumburg, Illinois.
That's right. Home of me.
Sure, very
know what else is there.
narcissistic of you. What was your relationship like with your parents growing up?
Pretty good. We got along pretty well. I think one time they got real mad at me because I got like a C in a class and they told me I was grounded. And I was like, I don't think I deserve this one, guys. And they were like, no, you can't go out tonight. And I was like, I made plans. And I just kind of ignored them.
You know, when I talked to your brother, he said that you actually almost never got into trouble at all.
Yeah, because he mostly got into trouble. So, he actually...
No reaction.
He had a, I think maybe because he was older than me,
Yeah.
he sort of went through, the teenage angst, and I saw him going through that and thought, well, I'll just sit that out.
Is it possible you were a little scared of him? I recall a story where he doinked your head off a staircase.
He did doink my head. I was casually walking down the stairs behind him.
Yeah.
And brothers, sometimes you just give them a little kick. And I did that, and he turned around and grabbed my head by the hair and slammed it into the stairs. And my glasses just carved a little nick into my skin.
Do you still have that, Nick?
Yeah, there's a scar still. I don't know if it shows up in the darkness.
It's a little
here.
dark in here. There's also like a chain hitting me in my face.
There is a lot going on. This is, by the way, loving this.
Yeah.
Really nice atmosphere.
By all accounts, though, you do seem to have a very lovely relationship with your brother now. Was it always that way, though?
I'd say even when we didn't get along very well, we've always been incredibly similar. We both like motion pictures. We'd be out there on Dark Horizons, the old movie news website in the 90s.
So you were a nerd. You guys were
We
nerds.
were both nerds.
Yeah, we're
What's
about to
going
enter
on
our
here?
first segment. That's a creepy mannequin.
Hello, ma'am.
Oh, good, right?
Oh,
and it
great.
turns
Yeah,
its head.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
fantastic. So now we are entering our first segment room. Now, if you'll come around this corner.
Oh, look at this!
Please have a seat.
It's very autumnal. Wow, I feel
All right.
I feel so welcome.
So this is our first segment. It's called Fear and Flourish.
Okay.
This is a segment where we talk about a time in your life where you were scared,
Sure.
and yet you still persevered and succeeded anyway.
Yeah.
Is there any time that comes to mind for you like that?
I worked at a ballpark
Your great moment of triumph is a customer service.
I've had a lot of moments of triumphs at a lot of jobs.
I'm talking like you're down in a pit of despair. You don't know if you're gonna make it, and then you make it
yeah,
anyway.
That's where I'm getting. And it was the 3rd of July, which sometimes is busier than the 4th of July, because people don't want to go to a ballpark on the 4th of July.
Don't think we need to get into that.
No. And it was a real long line. A man came to my register, and he said, "I'll have a lemonade." And I said, "Oh, sorry." And understand, at this point, the line is about 2 hours long to get to the concessions.
Yeah.
And I said, "We're actually all out of lemonade." And he said, "It doesn't say that on the sign." And I said, "I don't know what to tell you." And he said, "Well, that sucks." And he threw all his trash at me, including like a cup that was half full of water.
Yeah.
And I was covered in trash. And that was sort of a moment for me, because I just kind of smiled about it, and I said, "Well, sorry about that. Just smile your way through life." That's all I'm saying.
Do you ever get anxious though?
Yeah, a little bit.
You are a robot, sir. You are a robot. There are wires in your brain that fire off in certain patterns to make you move your little hands. Let's go to the next room.
Okay, all right.
Oh my God. What is wrong with you? What were you like in high school?
I was like I didn't want to be class clown. I think I was
It's a werewolf.
that is a werewolf. I wasn't a werewolf.
I said werewolf. Anyways, back to the question, sorry.
Yeah, I was casually delightful. I wasn't cool, I didn't play sports, I was in band. I did win a popularity contest, but I know for a fact, one of my friends said, when I won it, the next day over the announcements, they said, "And Shane Madej won this," and someone next to him said, "Man, that guy is dry as hell."
Do you agree with that? Are you dry as hell?
I'm kind of dry.
Like, not from like an epidermal level, like.
No, I mean, that is true. I do have
You have very dry skin, I know that about you. In that vein, in high school, how did you do with girls?
With girls?
How did you do with girls?
I didn't really bother I didn't have a girlfriend until senior year of high school.
Yeah.
And we're still friends to this day.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, we broke up after a few months. What are you gonna do with that there?
She was gonna toss it at your body,
Oh.
which would normally elicit some sort of human response like, uh-oh, I'm gonna get squished.
Oh.
But for you blinked and went,
Don't do that.
looks like doom's coming my way.
Very good, very good.
One of your friends said that a lot of ladies were interested in you.
Or who said that?
I can't say.
Oh, okay.
I won't reveal my
complete
sources.
anonymity.
Yes.
No, if that was the case, then they should have mentioned it to me.
So you were aloof.
I was incredibly aloof, and am to this day.
That is true, as am I. And now we've reached our second segment. So if you'll have a seat.
There's a guy over here.
Don't worry about him, he'll tire himself out eventually. So this is our second segment, it's called Career Crush.
Okay.
This is a segment where we talk about somebody, whether it's in your field or not, that you admire, that inspires you. Is there anybody that fits that billing for you?
Yeah. I think it's gonna be Adam Driver.
Why Adam Driver?
There's something very novel to his whole, I don't think I've ever seen a human being like him.
He kind of looks similar to you.
Maybe that's why, maybe I see him and think we're from somewhere similar.
Or that
out
you
in
could
the
like,
stars.
oh, maybe I could aspire to be to his
I don't
level.
want to be him. He's doing great.
Yeah, he is doing great.
I don't want to be what he is. I want to keep doing what I'm doing, which is this.
So what about Adam Driver inspires you?
There's a lot of actors out there who are just sort of doing it for the next Marvel movie. You know what? He's in Star Wars movies. I don't know what I'm saying. I think he recognizes the artistic value of the Star Wars films. He wouldn't have done it if he didn't. And he's he balances that out with things like Patterson, which is a wonderful film for everybody. It's about poetry.
That's true.
And I recommend it.
He was also in the Marine Corps, which is an honorable thing.
Yeah, do those push-ups, dude. I don't know.
Well, let's move on, shall we?
I told Scratch no visitors!
He doesn't seem pleased.
I mean, he did say no visitors. Anyways, back to the Shane show.
Oh!
Going back to high school, you competed in a contest called Mr. Saxon.
That's right.
It's basically a male talent show, and you won.
I did win.
You won by doing magic.
That's right.
And-
but the point, it was...
Oh, I'm not done.
Okay, all
And
right.
by bizarrely singing your school song in German while wearing lederhosen.
Yes, I was in German class. Schaumburg's a town with a lot of German heritage settlers, Polish as well.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd really, kind of pander to the masses.
Was being on that stage kind of like the catalyst for you realizing, oh, maybe I want to be a performer?
Well, I guess a little bit, but it was never 100% about performing. One, they did have free tickets to prom, and I thought that was a pretty good gig. Though my girlfriend and I broke up before prom, so I went alone, and I got food poisoning.
Sweet.
And I spent the whole night shitting on a boat.
Well, you really spun a really, triumphant story into something very sad.
We jumped to a lot of places there.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
You know, your brother said that when you were a kid.
What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here!
Yeah, I know.
So we're shooting a...
No, this is actually not the maze. This
Did you clear this with
This
them?
is something that someone says to me every time I step in a building, actually.
Okay.
Or you will be one with the maze!
Okay,
You!
Look,
I forgot about you.
We're just moving on through. These people got a funny situation here.
But yeah, your brother said you used to reenact skits, like SNL skits, on your parents' Handycam.
We
so
did
like
do.
you obviously knew to an extent that you did want to perform something.
Yeah.
He also said you commanded the Saxon stage despite no dramatic training, which I found impressive.
That's true. Yeah, we did a lot of, in my youth, a lot of recording on a camcorder.
Yeah.
Skits, I did some stop motion work with clay.
Yeah.
The things you do. You must have done that when you were younger.
Yeah, I did, and I think I kind of had an inkling of what I wanted to do. We both kind of we took a winding path to becoming performers. Oh my
I'd
goodness.
say so. Hello, ma'am. Oh, it's you again.
But you did. Oh my God.
Hello.
So what made you uproot and leave to LA? What was the mindset behind that? Did you have a plan?
My brother lived in Los Angeles as soon as he left high school. I remember visiting him out here and thinking, yeah, place is cool. I went to Columbia College Chicago, shout out for editing. And there were just a lot more jobs out here. So, I moved.
You didn't feel any fear of just uprooting?
It was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
But did you know, okay, I'm gonna go out there to perform. I'm gonna go out there to make videos or be a
I assumed I would be editing stuff for BuzzFeed.
Yeah.
Was a, that worked out.
Jesus.
Now I'm here.
Yeah, now you're here.
So, all in all, a fairy tale.
You seemed like you were pretty resolute about it. Like there wasn't too much anxiety behind it, or?
There was anxiety. It's tough. It's tough to move across the country. You wouldn't know. You grew up in Arcadia.
That's true. It's the ultimate form of betting on yourself, which, wow, and we're back out in the real world.
That was very scary. That was good. I had a good time in there.
Anyways, there's a lot of creatives out there that are looking for what it takes to make that leap, to decide this is what I'm gonna do.
You gotta keep your eyes on the prize, even if you don't know what it is, and you just barrel through life.
You truly are a jackass.
Thank you. Thank you.
I love you, man.
I love you too.
All right.
What a tender ending.
Oh my God!